Welcome to another episode of the Premium Podcast. I am your host, David McDonald, aka DMD the GOAT. And today we have a very interesting topic on the docket. And if you haven't heard, it is the United Auto Workers strike that has just went into full effect because the demands of the union have not been met. Now, this is the first time in the union's 88-year history that all three automobiles have been targeted, or auto manufacturers have been targeted: Ford, GM, and Stellantis. And the primary argument behind it was inadequate pay and lack thereof benefits. So the executives and the owners of the company are making an exceptional amount of more money. And then the people who are working and actually putting the blood, sweat, and tears into actually making the vehicles or manufacturing them are not being compensated fairly. So what does this mean to the consumer? For those of you who follow me online, you know that I own a dealership and I sell pre-owned vehicles, not brand new vehicles. There is a difference, right? So you can either sell both. You can be only brand new, or you can be used car or pre-owned. So I only sell pre-owned cars on my lot. Now, with that being said, why do I care to share this video? It's because I feel that pre-owned vehicle prices are going to start going up again. So I don't know if you were in the car market in 2020, but so we'll get to that point. But let's watch this video first, and then we can talk about it in more detail.
One that maybe a week or 2 weeks, relatively short, or are we looking at something that could be extended out over 7, 8, 9 weeks? That remains to be seen. The longer it goes, the more painful it's going to be, not only for the automakers, but also for the economy. We've talked about that extent. Let me give you a little bit of a backdrop in terms of the strikes that have been called by the UAW. First time ever, we are seeing strikes at all three of the Detroit automakers: Ford, GM, and Stellantis. One plant here in Michigan, one in Ohio, one in Missouri. Those three facilities employ about 2,700 workers who are now walking the picket line instead of working on the assembly line. And we've heard from them all night long about how long they're prepared to stay off the job.
Everything, my livelihood, my family's well-being, everything's on the line for me. I was raised in the UAW.
We deserve our raise. We deserve our, I think everybody out here does. We come to work every day, we work hard, we make sure quality is right.
People have been underpaid for a while. Benefits have been crazy, so this is definitely something that's going to help everyone.
And let me clarify that: 12,700 workers at the three plants that are now on strike for the UAW. All right, so what happens next? There will be no negotiations today. Shawn Fain, president of the UAW, has said for some time they're not going to have negotiations today, but they will be holding a rally in downtown Detroit. Most final assembly continues for Ford, GM, and Stellantis. The question now: when will we see more strikes? Because the UAW has said this strike is going to be different. If they do not believe that there is progress being made, then they will call for more plants to be shut down. And will they be final assembly plants, or will there be other targeted strikes at plants that build engines and transmissions, which is how they've done it in the past? But clearly they're not doing it that way this year. And again, there is a rally in downtown Detroit. Guys, you don't want to miss what we have coming up next hour. We are going to be talking.
All right. So what does this mean for the consumer? So in 2020, when there was a chip shortage, right, pre-owned vehicle prices skyrocketed. Now, being a newcomer in the dealer world or dealer ownership world, right, there have been automakers have made a lot of money over time, like a lot of money. Before technology, which is, in my opinion, like a buyer IQ, where a buyer can go online and actually, look at this vehicle over here in this city, look at this vehicle in this state, and make a comparable analysis as to whether or not they want to do business or buy this car at this certain price, right? So consumption and the knowledgeable consumer, that has obviously increased incredibly, which in turn has decreased the profits of a lot of these, large vehicle retailers. Now, how does this impact? How does this strike? If it goes on for a number of months, right, you're going to have a big halt in the number of new manufactured cars. And so what that's going to do is it's going to trickle down to the pre-owned market. And so now the cost or the price of cars will increase due to the lack thereof inventory, right? New inventory coming out, so on and so forth. Now, I know it may not seem like a really big deal. Oh, what's 8 weeks or 9 weeks? And I believe all three of these companies have plants in Mexico and in Canada, and those will continue to run. But the point is, you're going to see an influx in the pre-owned car market. So if you have been on the fence, and if you follow me, you know me, I'm all about creating your perfect moment. If you have good credit or lack thereof, and you have some cash down or lack thereof, but you have an interest, right, of going out and getting a new vehicle before the holiday months come here in the fourth quarter, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. This might take a second to catch up, but in the end, in terms of pricing, it might take a second for pre-owned cars to start seeing that number go up if a resolution is not met with this whole proposition. But nonetheless, please let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that the union will strike for an extended amount of time? Do you think that pre-owned market values or car prices are going to go up, or do you think they're going to go down? In the end, always open for a conversation.